What's up guys, Manny here, back with another video. Today I'm going to tell you guys about some of my experiences in the fight game. The fight game is extremely dangerous, but also it's pretty safe MMA compared to boxing and stuff. I mean, it's not safe. I've been fighting, so for me it's normal, but it's definitely not safe. We're going out there, we're throwing bones, people getting knocked out, people getting cut up. You're guaranteed to get injured when you go into a fight. And we love the sport, we love it, I love it. But however, I'm gonna go into some things because there's a lot of new people who are fight fans and they're making really bad decisions and changing their lives forever just because they don't know any better. So in the fight game, there's a lot of snakes. There's a ton of snakes. I learned that the hard way. But the reason I'm bringing this all up is because the story of Ardi Ndembo, I'm saying his name wrong, Ardi. He's a fighter from Congo who came, he had a dream, he was watching Francis Ngannou. He wanted to become a boxer. Or he was already a boxer, but he wanted to take it to the next level. So he moved, packed everything up, and came to Las Vegas to go for his boxing career. So he was like 8-0, you know, but his level of opposition was not the same level that you're gonna find here in the States. So, you know, the story of him is he came to Vegas, he had started training. Apparently he got knocked out in training a month before his fight, or the month whenever he was gonna fight, he got knocked out twice. That's what they're saying. There's video of him getting knocked out for sure once, cold. And he went in and he fought and he died. You know, he got hit, he got knocked out again, and he was in a coma for 2 weeks and died. You know, rest in peace to Ardi. This story really hit me because as a fighter, you know, it's super dangerous what we do. However, if he had the right people around him, his death could have been avoided. And if he knew a little bit more, possibly, or if his ego was a little bit less, I don't know him, so I'm just speculating, but I know for myself, fighters sometimes will make bad decisions because their ego is like so strong. Like, you know, we all think we're gonna go in and knock the guy out. We all think we're gonna win because we put in mad work. We all have big balls and we're gonna go in there and beat the guy's ass, regardless if we have one arm, we have no arm, we've been knocked out, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's the nature of fighting and being a fighter, is we're gamblers. We gamble with our lives. So there's another story, I'm going to come back to Ardi in a second, but there's another story of some kid, he went to Yale, Asian kid, and he wanted to, he watched UFC, whatever, he wanted to get in there and prove himself as a man and have a fight. He just signed up for an amateur, not even an amateur fight, it's just like a smoker type of fight. But he, you know, with the headgear and the shin guards, all that. He went in, he got pieced up, hit with some big shots. He was throwing up after the first round. He took some damage. He had a concussion. He didn't know that, okay, if you get hit like that, or he didn't have people around him who knew the game enough to be like, hey, you need to stop, you need to sit down, you're done. You can't go anymore. He went in, he had another match, concussed, throwing up. If you ever get hit hard enough to where you're throwing up, you need to sit down somewhere. He went in, next match, again, he got hit again, big shots. He was still concussed, still messed up, but this kid was super tough. He went in again, the third match, and he got into a coma after that, and he's been in a coma ever since. I don't know, I have to do a follow-up and see what's going on with that, but he's been in a coma ever since. So the promoters, they're snakes. They didn't care about the kid enough to be like, hey, this dude's taking mad damage, he needs to not fight, you know? Also, the thing is, unless you fought before or you're a fighter or you're really, really in this game, you don't know exactly what's on the line. Everybody can watch it and be whatever. They don't really know what's on the line exactly because it's something that you really have to be in there to feel, to really understand. So for myself, when I was a kid watching UFC, watching these wars, I'm like, whoa, okay, no problem. We can go in there in the backyard and fight like crazy, no problem. No one's gonna die. No one's actually gonna die. And no, luckily nobody died, but people did get knocked out. People did get messed up. People did lose teeth, you know. And going back to Ardi, you know, he was a guy who really wanted to chase his dreams. I relate to this guy because I know I have a feeling what he was feeling, what he was going through. So he moved, you know, packed up his whole life, went to Vegas, left his family behind to chase his dreams so he can really, you know, make a name for himself and, you know, and become something. He's in a whole different country, you know. So now when he's in this position where he has opportunity to have a fight, he is not going to say no. Even though he got knocked out twice before this fight, he's still going to say yes because it's his opportunity and he doesn't really see the danger that he's in. And he doesn't think it's a possibility that he can die, that he's going to die in there or could die in there or could take some serious damage. So before my first pro fight, I had some sparring sessions, no problem. Whatever, we're going. I got clipped in this sparring session. I was sparring somebody way bigger than me, and I was just getting ready for my pro fight. I got clipped, no problem. Had a little black eye, whatever. It was like, all right, cool, that was a good scrap, that was good stuff. The next day, I go into training. There's nobody for this guy to spar, right? I'm a welterweight. I'm sparring a dude who's like a heavyweight, you know, he's like super tall, super big. So we go in next day, coach is like, all right, hey, you know, I need you to spar with this guy because nobody else is here. All right, here, please, come on, just spar, let's go. If you ask a fighter that, they're always going to say yes because a fighter's mindset is like, I can beat anybody up. It doesn't matter what it is, and you're testing my manhood because you're basically, if I say no, that's like, I'm scared to fight this guy. No, even if a fighter is scared, they're going to go in. Every fighter is scared before they go to the cage or the ring. They're nervous, they're scared, they're ready to go. That's what we like feed off of. So, of course I'm gonna say yes. Boom, I say yes, we go in, we spar. Now I get hit again in the same spot, and now it's a serious like injury. Cause now my eye's like out to here, and I have like some type of fracture. It was bad before, but now it got real worse. So it still was manageable enough to where it's like, all right, whatever, no big deal. I have a black eye, all right, I'm gonna chill. My fight's 2 weeks away. I'm not gonna spar anymore. Going to the gym the next day, the coach is like, oh, come on, we need you to spar, we need you to go. We're gonna go light, we're gonna go super light. You just put the headgear on and go. In my mind, I'm like, all right, I really shouldn't be sparring. But whatever, I'm fine, put the headgear on. They're saying we're gonna go light, all right, whatever. Of course we go in and it's a war off right off the bat. We're going, I do the whole round, no injuries, I'm protecting my eye, I'm moving around. The second round, I got hit with a cross or something. My eye instantly balloons up. Everybody saw it, they're like, oh shit, his eye is huge, like, nah, he needs to stop. My eye was literally out to here. The dude was like, come on, just do one more round. These people don't give a fuck about you at all in the fight game. These promoters, these managers, unless you find people who really care about you, which is pretty hard to find, they just look at you as another buck. So, and they're cowards because they're not the ones who are going in the cage, so it doesn't really matter to them. They don't really know what you're going through. So now after that, after I got hit, I had a serious injury. I had a concussion, my first ever real concussion. I'm laying in bed that night. I have my eye out to here. I'm seeing like flashes and stuff. And I have to fight in about 2 weeks, a week and a half. Obviously I could pull out the fight, but you know, that's another thing a lot of you like fans of the fight game don't understand. I see comments all the time, people like, oh, this guy signed on the dotted line, blah, 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 blah. Like, you guys are cowards. If you've never been in a fight, you don't know what these guys are going through. You don't know why they're fighting. You're a coward if you're on the line talking shit about a fighter, saying, oh, he knew what he was getting into. Yeah, we know what we're getting into, but sometimes you need to have people around you to protect you from yourself. So anyways, I'm in bed. I don't train the rest of the week. I stopped even taking the dude's calls. I don't listen to the dude no more because I'm like, this guy's an idiot. He either wants me to get hurt in here or he wants something bad to happen to me, or he's just dumb, right? So I just stopped taking his calls. I ignore him. For the whole week, I relax and I recover my body a bit. I'm still concussed, the next week I start working out a little bit, doing cardio, just kind of jogging a little bit. Now it's fight week, and I make weight, and now the fight is up, right? I know I can't take any punches in this fight because I'm banged up still going into the fight. The fight happens, the very first punch the dude throws is like a big crazy overhand. This guy's a knockout artist. Big crazy overhand it lands, I'm like, all right, I can't take no more punches like that. I definitely can't take punches like that because I could feel like, all right, if I get hit like that again, I'm getting knocked out for sure. So now I'm like, all right, and my hands come up, and the fight's actually on my channel. You can go back and watch. As soon as I got hit with the overhand, my hands come up, and I'm like, all right, now I'm literally fighting for my life. You know, I'm literally fighting for my life. So I go in, I take the dude down, I take him down so hard, and I blast him down the ground, and I'm hitting him super hard, because I'm like trying to finish this fight, because I'm like, my life is literally on the line. Anyways, luckily my wrestling was good enough, my grappling was good enough, I was able to take the guy down and just destroy him on the ground. It was like 10-8 rounds every round. If I would have got hit hard enough, I could have literally died that day because I was already concussed going into the fight. That's what happened with Ardi. He got knocked out twice before. He got knocked out. He thought he was not a big dude, thought he was fine, or he was pressured to go into sparring, went back into sparring, got knocked out again for real, you know, really out. Then he has the fight. I don't know who signed off on that, but he had the fight. He got knocked out again, and then he died, you know? So that's the thing. In the fight game, you gotta understand this is super dangerous stuff. It's serious stuff. The most brutal fighter, BMF, all this stuff, Justin Gaethje, who goes in, has these crazy wars. Even him, he got knocked out. He's like, I'm not going for 6 months. I'm not training for 6 months. I'm not sparring for 6 months. That's how it is. Manny Pacquiao got knocked out. He didn't spar for 6 months. He got knocked out, really didn't spar for 6 months because you're risking your life. But people don't know this information. They think they watch the UFC, they see fighters get knocked out multiple times in their career, and they think you can just get knocked out like that over and over and over again. You can't. Those guys who get knocked out in the UFC, they get knocked out, they go back, they don't get punched for a while, then they come back to have a full camp, they build themselves back up, they go back into a fight, and then if they get knocked out again, they're not just going back and getting knocked out every week. You can't get knocked out back to back. You're gonna die. So I think it's important because the fight game is getting more popular and people are learning about it and knowing about it. And there's a lot of events such as street beefs and these different things. People don't know what they're actually getting into. They just know they're getting into a fight, but they don't really know the dangers of it. And some people do know the dangers of it, but they're too tough for their own good. If you choose to get into this fight game, just know that you gotta really watch people. Most of these people don't care about you. They just wanna make money off of you. The promoters, managers included. You know, you wanna get with a good team that's really there for you and cares for you and cares about your health. They don't see you as just another guy to throw into, have their star guy spar and get knocked out and no one care about you. If you're in the gym, people getting knocked out left and right and they're still sparring and stuff, you gotta really take a look at that gym. You know, rest in peace to Ardi and, you know, the young man who went to Yale and went to that kickboxing match. I hope he has a full recovery. The promoters who put on that event of the kickboxing match for that guy who went to Yale, you know, they need to be looked into and they shouldn't be thrown on these events. This is serious business that we're in. It's not just a fight, you know, it's very, very serious and it's dangerous. You know, there's a guy who also died in BKFC. He got knocked out a month before, came back, had another fight, got knocked out, died. You know, that was in BKFC. That was about a year or two ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago. If you get knocked out, you have to take a break. You have to take your time and recover. But take your brain health seriously. Training is great, martial arts is great, but this stuff is dangerous if you're not taking the right precautions and if you don't have the right people around you. So rest in peace, Ardi, and all the fighters, especially boxers who die every year. This is a serious business, serious game, but if you do the right things, UFC's never had a death. They never had death. They've had they have over 300 fights a year. You know, they have a crazy amount of fights every year. They've been in business for 20 years. Nobody's ever died, right? In the UFC. So it's just about taking the right precautions, knowing when to back out of a fight or when not to take a fight. You know, being patient. You know, Ardi, I know he's 27 years old, so he probably really wanted to go and get it going and get his career going and make a bunch of money and all that stuff. This is a long game, you know. It took Francis Ngannou however long to become who he is, you know, at least 10 years, you know, and he started when he was like 27. You're a heavyweight, there's no rush. There is a rush, but there's not a rush. You can fight when you're 40 years old, you know, you can fight when you're 45 years old. You can build up your skills to keep you safe and really be in this fight game. So that's my 2 cents for today. Much love. Appreciate you guys. Drop a comment below. Rest in peace to Ardi. Rest in peace to all the fighters who died in the fight game. It's a serious business. It's a serious game. Just try to take care of yourself and be smart and be safe in this fight game and even in training, even if you're not a pro fighter. All right, peace.